All right, we're back, and that was Red Velvet with Dum Dum. And I'm leaving this song on for this segment. Okay, so I said I would talk about the types of fans you'll meet in K-pop, and this is actually an international experience as well. I'm not even kidding. Okay, so the type of fans you'll meet in K-pop. Me and my friends came up with some of these answers. All right, number 1, Dream Street. This is the fan that wants to be reborn Korean and aspires to be a trainee, even though that's completely possible now being a foreigner. Just look at Alex Reed. She's tearing it up in BP Rania. Actually, shout out to Alex Reed. I enjoyed that new track. I actually watched that performance, and that was hot. Anywho, the delusional Dream Streeter believes that Oppa acknowledged them back in the 8th row, even though said fan is 4'11", and yo, I'm not dissing 4'11" people. My sister's 4'11", short people rock, but yeah, no, these are the people that threaten to leave the fandom when their favorite member is dating or married or legit starts making, said idol dead to them when that happens. They're also the person that mispronounces everyday Korean slang even though they insist on using it in everyday conversation. And don't let them find out you're part Korean. You will be stalked for life. These people also probably used to be hardcore weebs at one point. Number 2, Holier Than Thou. And we have to edit some of the language here because we actually made this for video, but yeah, Holier Than Thou. I know you've heard the term. If you're a Southerner, you've heard the term. This is somebody who's above everybody. This is the fan that hates your group for no other reason than that they are fixated on 2 groups and are absolutely averse to changes of any kind. Bleep your group is a family creed with these people, and they usually know their favorite group's members' birthdays, birthplaces, sibling names, and in some cases addresses. I'm not kidding about that one. Anytime I say something like that, it's actually happened. And it gets deeper than that. My personal experience with these people, these are the people screaming at the concerts that they want to have said idols' babies, or on the plane going, oh my god, he's walking right here, right there, we're breathing the same air. Yeah, I can't stand those people, and neither can you, I'm sure. Number 3. Number 3 is the anti. You know who we talking to on this one. We're talking to those mainly boy group fans. I don't want to single one fandom out. Even though on the script we totally did single out a fandom. You can guess who it is on the video. I'll put it in the subtitles. This is the fan that should not be confused with Holier Than Thou. This is the fan that talks. They're like the guy at the club that talks junk for no other reason other than the purpose of starting beef. In short, antis have no jams, alright? They have no chill. No jams, no chill whatsoever. Think of antis as warmongers who nitpick every little thing that an idol does or any rumor that shows up, and they have no manners whatsoever when they show up at your favorite idol show. They're usually the person actually throwing out insults and throwing elbows in the VIP pit. And I really don't understand it, because you paid a triple-digit amount to be down there, or maybe more due to the scalpers. And, I mean, if you don't like this group, why are you down in the pit throwing bows and, getting into it with other fans who paid their hard-earned money and traveled their hard-earned time and blood, sweat, and tears to be down there? I don't understand that. Alright, don't take this personal, but, and this is a personal experience, by the way, XOLs, hey yo, why were you trying to climb up my back in the front row? I even bent down so you short ones could see. Why are you trying to climb up my back and just be anti? I mean, dude, I got a bow thrown at my ear. You know what? I've done martial arts for over 23 years, and I think I got hit. I think I got hit in places I've never been hit before at that EXO concert in LA. I'm not saying it was a horrible experience, but it felt like I was at Warped Tour or Mayhem Fest down there. And I gotta be honest, Els, why you do that? I mean, be sensible, man. Stop pushing. Even Chanyeol asked you guys to stop pushing, and antis would not stop pushing. I heard more profanity down there than I've heard in the military. Okay? And I grew up with a sailor for a parent and an aviator. You know there's some profanity in the house at that point. Okay, so another thing. Antis are the single greatest low point to this genre, man. They can literally make a show get canceled or an element of a fan interaction be changed or canceled. Some examples, some very dark examples. Remember BTS, the Red Bullet? Anybody? Well, on one of their East Coast dates, somebody tweeted RIP certain member of BTS, and they showed a picture of a gun and like scared the bejesus out of everybody. The high touch session was canceled. It was a disaster because they thought that somebody was going to do harm to the fans in the group. And man, I feel horrible for Subculture still to this day for that one. I don't know if they ever will find out who that anti was that did that. They weren't even, here's the thing, it turns out that anti wasn't even in the vicinity of the show. I feel horrible for the fans that, you know, fought for that VVIP ticket and didn't get to, you know, experience BTS. They didn't get to experience the high touch or anything like that. We did in LA and it was a lot of fun. I mean, me and Rapmon like threw up LA signs at each other and everything. It was pretty boss. But yeah, I don't I don't understand antis. Another incident. This was at KCON. A fan, I guess, got a little too crazy with one of the idols, and like all of a sudden we were being rushed through high touch, man. Like I had security guards straight pushing me because some dude before me did something really, really dumb. Hence the song, Dum Dum. The next fan, number 4, hipster. We are all guilty of being a hipster K-pop fan if you're a K-pop fan. Because at some point in our journey, we all get older. So at some point, we're all guilty of being a hipster. Alright, that's in addition to listening to a group before they were famous. Some of these hipster types are total hypocrites. These are the ones that claim to hate top 10 K-pop, but cannot name a single lesser known group, and the only K-pop or the only K-hip-hop that they've heard is AOMG. Not that AOMG isn't freaking amazing and hype as heck. But they claim they're over the genre, but know more about the latest episode of M Countdown, and will be the first to have a group like Winner's comeback album on pre-order. That's hipster. Hipster is not the one that listened to K-pop in the 90s and is like, you know what, I listen to this group, blah, blah, blah. They're also the ones that claim Golden Age but can't name a single member of Fly to the Sky or SES or Shinhwa. And if you can't name a single member of Shinhwa, you're not Golden Age, bro. Sorry. Alright, and the next one, number 5. Me and my friends have decided to call this one Rational Randy. You have Debbie Downer and you have Rational Randy. Rational Randy is the fan that is multi-fandom, can enjoy the entertainment and culture without requiring too much else like visuals. They love their groups genuinely because they produce good music and are decent artists, and are probably learning the language because they legitimately like it, unlike Dream Street. Gotta be honest too, at KCON and other fan meets, Rational Randy is the person you want to hang around. Rational Randy has your back, okay? They're not gonna let aunties jump up on you and beat you up. My good friend Shivo, she's Rational Randy most of the time, okay? With the exception of GOT7. She loves GOT7. But Rational Randy, yeah, she doesn't let people beat up on you at the concert when you catch a certain idol's shirt. Yeah, that happened too. Now, yes, they occasionally bring fan boards, and yes, they scream for their favorites, but they don't bring the fan board where people are cursing at them to put the bleeping sign down during Shiny, and yeah, that happened at Korea Times Music Fest last year. Online, I'll post a video clip of it. It's quite funny. These are the fans that don't, unless they are also working, carry their giant telephoto lens. Rational Randy is awesome. Rational Randy rocks. Rational Randy is like your best friend. And our last one. Well, no, this isn't our last one. Yeah, it is. Number 6. The Cynic Parasite. I don't know if you guys are into poetry or anything like that, but if you've ever heard the term cynic parasite, it's actually referring to journalists. Now, no, I'm not sitting here on a radio station and insulting myself or my other fellow journalists out there that I've met in this wonderful journey of media, but the cynic parasite, let me tell you what that is. These are the ones who, on more than one occasion, play, quote-unquote, journalists, but they aren't. And they didn't go to school to learn to write or report news. They didn't participate in their high school or even college paper or radio station. I'm not knocking any of you that didn't, but the ones that suddenly stepped into the fray at least have a decent control of their grammar and language, and if they don't, they at least know how to get a freaking copy editor. Hoo boy. We all know CP. We've all witnessed CP. Heck, CP articles are all over the web posing as journalism, especially in K-pop. How do you tell the difference? One moment, it's a positive article or a decent article hitting all the marks, and the next, it's an article that lacks these key things. Ethics. You see, there's a certain code that people who report have to follow, and when it breaches all types of ethics, like you're going out and you're slandering somebody and you're just beating them down for no reason with no source, that's when you start lacking ethics. Or when you just come up with a controversial thing that's completely off topic to K-pop or whatever subject you're writing about, and it just goes on and on and on to just like drag the person, that's when you start to question ethics. Ethics is what you do when people aren't watching, but it can come out when people are watching. Just something I'd like to point out. It singles someone out and starts dissing them with no merit or proof whatsoever and keeps attacking them. For instance, calling out the person and saying they are known to be a Koreaboo, which, I mean, first of all, there's a news outlet called Koreaboo, and I mean, I think they've embraced the term and made a positive light of it. But then there's the term Koreaboo, which is supposed to be derogatory, kind of like weeb and weeaboo, and it's supposed to be insulting, but I mean, you can take it as a badge of honor, or you can, take it as an insult. In this case, it's meant to be an insult, and yeah, I don't know why you would put it at the end of your news article. That's not cool. That's not even, like, that's just not even professional. It takes a side, but doesn't defend the position. And what I mean by it takes the side is, such and such isn't a scammer, blah, blah, blah. Well, we think blah, blah, blah. Even though there's like 200 billion pieces of things and even a celebrity out there calling said person out to be a scammer. That has happened many times in K-pop. It happens. Yeah. That's part of Cynic Parasite. Again, Heil spell check, Heil grammar, C grammar. Yes, I'm being a grammar Nazi. Hot air. I'll explain what hot air is in a minute, or maybe a little bit later. And then, of course, no sources whatsoever, which will get you an F on any type of article or get your article totally rejected on any legitimate outlet. If you're a legitimate outlet, you have sources when you make accusations or take a position. You have primary sources, you have secondary sources. K-Music does it, Koreaboo does it, even all K-pop does it sometimes, as much as we love to butt heads with all K-pop, okay? Sampi, again, sources. They have sources. These are legitimate media outlets. AP even has sources. Everybody has sources. You have to have sources to be taken seriously as a journalist. If you don't have sources, you are what they call fake news or a tabloid. Nobody wants to be called a tabloid.